Welcome back to Crypto Toro. On today's video, I'm going to talk about Cardano, and especially because right now it's performing outrageously good. And let's take a look at what is currently going on. So firstly, Cardano broke its all-time high today on the Cardano compared to USD chart. That is very amazing news, but let's take a look at something I think is even more significant. So if we take a look at the Cardano compared to Bitcoin chart on the daily time frame, you can clearly see that I placed this Fibonacci retracement from its all-time high towards its all-time low. So from swing high towards swing low, you can clearly see that we have not been outperforming Bitcoin as we did previously in January 2018 to December 2017. So I think there is still a major way to go for Cardano's price action, but for sure right now I'm very pumped already because what's going on. So you can clearly see we broke above the 0.5 level Fibonacci level, and the next upcoming level of resistance will be at the 0.618 level over here. As well, something I would like to take into consideration is this upward sloping support line that I have seen multiple times Cardano getting supported by. You could see over here it got supported by this upward sloping support as well. After this major decrease in its strength compared to Bitcoin, we also found support on top of it, and right now we are once again heading back towards a new all-time high compared to Bitcoin. Right now we are still at the 0.5 in between the 0.5 and the 0.618 Fibonacci level, but for sure I think there is still a long way to go for Cardano and as well for its price action. So let's get started by taking a look at what I possibly think is very important, and those are that is the EMA ribbon. You can clearly see that the EMA ribbon on the daily time frame served as a level of resistance for a short while. Right now you can clearly see that we broke above the EMA ribbon and we are finding support on top of it, and I think this will be a major level of support for the upcoming days for sure, and I think something you would like to take into consideration as well. Secondly, I would like to talk about the MACD. You can clearly see that the crossover occurred several days ago, and right now we're still inside of this crossover on the MACD, and crossover is not there yet anytime soon. I think perhaps we might see a crossover, but not right now. Perhaps in the next upcoming 5 days, we might perhaps see a crossover on the Bitcoin daily chart compared to Cardano, but right now it's currently looking very good to me. And let's take a look at the 20-day moving average. The 20-day moving average is clearly serving as a level of support right now. So currently all indicators are looking very good to me on the Bitcoin chart. And as well, what I think is very interesting is that we still have a long way to go to outperform Bitcoin as Cardano has done before in 2018, for example. So I think this major pump, this major momentum can still be created, and that will also increase a lot into Cardano's price actions that will be seen, and we are seeing it right now already. So let's take a look at Cardano, but before doing so, do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you're liking the content so far, and also give me a like button down below. So thank you very much for that as well. And let's take a look at Cardano compared to Bitcoin. So over here I have drawn the Fibonacci retracement as well, similar to at the Cardano compared to Bitcoin chart. Right over here I draw it as well from swing high towards swing low, and especially because I would like to see where we could possibly be heading towards, and that is, for example, over here at this 1.618 level at $3.45. So perhaps this might be the next target in the horizon, so the $3.45 level. And let's take a look at what is currently going on. So especially I would like to enable the MACD. You can clearly see that the MACD had a crossover several days ago, and we are still not seeing a crossover anytime soon as well here on the US dollar chart. I think this is very spectacular right now, and something I think is very interesting is that we are trading underneath this level of resistance at one Fibonacci level at $2.51, and I think this is for sure something you would like to take into consideration, that we perhaps might see a decrease in Cardano's price actions before seeing that major jump towards the $3.45 level. You could perhaps compare it to this what happened over here. We saw before a retest of this 0.618 level at $1.95 before we saw this major increase in Cardano's price action of approximately, let's take a look, 31%. So that is for sure very interesting to me, and I think something you would like to take into consideration for sure. So I think perhaps we might be seeing right now currently something a little bit different occur, not an increase of 30%, but perhaps a decrease all the way towards the 0.786 Fibonacci level at $2.20, with a 12% decrease in Cardano's price action. So I think that is for sure very interesting and something you would like to take into consideration as well. So let's get a little bit further by taking a look at the 4-hourly time frame as well. By enabling the EMA ribbon, you can clearly see that the EMA ribbon will be serving as a major level of support at the 0.786 Fibonacci level over here, and perhaps a little bit higher due to the fact that we are still not getting rejected by this $2.51 resistance level. That is clearly not rejecting Cardano's price action currently right now, but perhaps might occur in the upcoming hours. So I think if we are seeing a breakout towards the downside occur, I think the EMA ribbon will be serving as a major level of support. You can clearly see that that is also what occurred once we retested this level of resistance at approximately 0.786 at $2.19. I think this is a major level of support due to the fact that we also had traded at this point as a level of resistance, and that will for sure be very important for Cardano to find support on top of this level, and perhaps also find support on top of the EMA ribbon, as we saw clearly in the past occur. And let's get a little bit further by taking a look as well at the MACD and the RSI. You can clearly see on the MACD that we saw a crossover occur. This crossover occurred yesterday, and after that period in time, we saw this major upward momentum getting started. For sure, you could clearly see that the Cardano's price action went parabolically towards the upside, and right now is heading towards that level of resistance at $2.51, perhaps retesting once again the $2.19, finding support on top of it before heading even further towards the $3.45 level that we discussed earlier. So the MACD is looking quite good for now. Do not forget that we might see a crossover on the MACD during the upcoming 24 hours, and perhaps the price action of Cardano decrease by finding support on top of the previous level of resistance at $2.20. And let's get a look at the RSI as well. So if we take a look at the RSI, we are clearly heading towards the overbought territory. We are being overextended. For my personal opinion, this is something in particular not very good to actually see. What you're also clearly seeing is actually something else that is concerning to me, that we will be actually heading towards that 0.786 level of Fibonacci at $2.20, is actually this over here, and that is that we are clearly seeing a lower high structure getting created on the RSI, but on the chart you are clearly seeing at the same period of time a higher low structure getting created, and this for sure is meaning that we are clearly seeing a bearish divergence on the RSI, and I think this of course will have a lot of influence in Cardano's price action, and that for sure will mean that we are heading down, getting rejected by this $2.51 level before we will be able to head back up. So this is something you would like to take into consideration. So I just wanted to give you this quick update about Cardano that is personally, my personal opinion, is heading towards the $2.20 level before we will be able to see that increase towards the $3.45. So I am very pumped about this especially because we might be able to create a pattern if we see a retest of this $2.20 support zone, and perhaps might get rejected once again by the $2.51 before heading even further. We might create any type of triangle. That pattern will be pushing us above this $2.51 level, finding support on top of it, and heading even further all the way towards the $3.45 level. So I really hope you enjoyed this content so far. If you did, do not forget to follow me as well on Twitter at Toro Crypto, and that will be highly appreciated. And if you like the content, do not forget to give me a thumbs up, and have a nice day, guys.
We all know the bank sucks, so we're saying goodbye, messing all their plans up. We having a good time in DeFi.